Today I'm meeting Danny Connor, also known as Squirrel Girl, for the very first time. Hi. She moved from London to northern Sweden to build an entire life around these wild squirrels. I have followed Danny's work for years. The patience, the connection she has with nature and these squirrels is something very unique. So when she welcomed me to her very own squirrel forest, I wanted to find out what makes this corner of the forest so special. But it didn't take long before our calm day with the squirrels turned into something completely different.
What happened?
So when we walked into the squirrel forest, it was like an entrance to Narnia. It felt like coming into a new world, something completely different compared to just 10 seconds earlier. Danny started to whistle to let the squirrels know that she was here. And within a few seconds, we could hear movements in the treetops.
A lot of people laugh that I've made a career out of squirrels.
Yeah, okay.
So, and from the start I was just like, this could work. Something that people don't really think about is that squirrels are almost on every continent. So it's a very relatable species, even though people in America, they don't see red squirrels. They still have the same sort of behaviors, and I knew that I could be a professional squirrel photographer almost.
Yeah.
We've got Buddy behind us.
Yeah, cozy. I tend to feel that when people start laughing at you, or in those scenarios, that it has more to do with jealousy.
Maybe. Because, maybe if it's jealousy, it's because they couldn't do it.
Yeah,
because,
or didn't dare to try it at least.
Yeah, because squirrels are very accessible. You've got them in your garden.
Yeah, absolutely, not this friendly.
Yeah, but they weren't like this at the start. This took years.
You put in time.
I've known them for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
When I first was in Sweden, I was living in a house over there. I knew the squirrels would cross the road and come here, but it was only when I actually left a few of the squirrels that got hit by cars here, and I actually started to realise they were everywhere. And I would spend maybe a couple of hours a day here when I found the squirrels. And it's because literally in this tree here is where the baby squirrels lived. And so I would spend a few hours every day for a month just with these baby squirrels. And if you compare these trees to the rest around the village, these trees have the most cones.
Okay.
And the trees are the oldest here.
Yeah, that makes sense then.
Yeah. This is pristine forest for squirrels. It's old. There's a mix of spruce trees, pine trees, birch trees. There's a good mix. It's not just one species. There's also dead trees. So there's always been lots of squirrels here.
For me to get here to Danny and her squirrels, it's about roughly 4.5 hours from my cabin. So the plan was that I was going to come here, stay the day, and I even stay the night, and then drive home the next day. But we've been having it's so much fun and it's so cozy. This is actually my 4th day here. I think it's because Danny and I are aligning on both a lot of values when it comes to nature and animals and so on. But I also think it comes from that Danny and I almost have the same exact story. She moved from London to northern Sweden and found her purpose out here. And I moved from Stockholm to my purpose out in the cabin in the forest. So we have so many things that are just aligning, which is so interesting just sitting and talking about. I have actually, my throat is a bit sore almost because we've been constantly talking for 4 days now. It's amazing. I rarely meet new people that I connect so well with. Can you, since you know them so well, can you describe the personalities? Because it feels like they're quite different.
Yeah.
When we walk in here, you basically, oh, that's Buddy, that's this one.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just a squirrel, but to you, it's very much a person, an identity, so to speak.
I call them small people.
Small people. Okay.
Rue was a very important squirrel for us.
That's true.
That's the one we rescued 2 years ago. It was amazing when she was wild and in the forest, she still wanted to play with us, even a month later. So we would follow her for hours in the forest, and she would show us things. She would bring us dried mushrooms, which she's already cached in a branch.
Yeah.
I gave her blueberries like in the forest and she
Yeah.
ate it. Like it was just amazing. So now she's like a few years old and she's so wild she doesn't even come anywhere near us.
Really? Okay.
Which kind of hurts.
I was about to say,
yeah,
is that tough?
Yeah, but she, I think, is the most amazing connection I've had to one squirrel. She then got some like milk replacement powder and started feeding her, and she just went from like almost to death to like being actually quite alert and awake.
Yeah. How is it to have a baby squirrel at home?
Well, at first it was easy because
Okay.
she just wanted to eat and sleep.
Okay, like a baby.
Yeah, and then she was terror, and it was just
In
like.
what way?
Well, it was just like hours of like running upstairs, back down, up the curtains.
I've seen the clips of you, like the curtains, like.
Yeah.
Do you think you're ever gonna get that kind of connection with another squirrel?
I don't think so,
No.
because I think I put too much of my heart into her, and now I know like I need to separate it a bit more so that she becomes wild sooner.
Yeah. Okay. This morning at the breakfast table, Danny and I had a little conversation about one of our absolute favorite things about the journey we've been taking, like leaving the city and then both of us moving out here, but to different spots of the country, is that the biggest shift is that we're being able to take time back into our own hands. Basically, we don't have to check with anyone before going anywhere. There's no boss to report into. We are in control of our own time, which is the best thing if you ask me. We started like looking back at our lives in the cities and almost laughed at it, because we can't imagine going back to waking up 6:30 in the morning, going to the subway, standing cramped with other people, going to a job we do not like whatsoever. We've both been there. But what we also realized, what we have in common, me and Danny, is that we didn't really have an idea what we were doing when we actually made the leap. I moved to the cabin without actually having any money or had a real plan of what I should do or how to earn money in the future. I just ended up being a YouTuber somehow. And Danny had no idea that she was gonna have a whole career surrounding squirrels and a whole lifestyle surrounding squirrels. So it just proves once, like time and time again, that you don't always need a plan before jumping. You can also just go and then trust the process. So Danny, what are we doing right now?
We're taking down a tree, a dead tree that fell maybe a year and a half ago, and actually that's the main reason I stopped walking down here, is because I used to walk directly underneath it.
Okay.
And I was just like, yeah, maybe that's not safe. And it's a bit windy today, and you can just see how much it's moving.
Yeah, it's really wobbling back and forth.
So, what's the plan?
The plan is no plan, but the plan is to kind of trying to throw it over the middle part at least. So we attach this thing that is a bit heavier. And then we're gonna try to take it over the edge and try to drag it this way. So it's tipping on the left side of this tree. That's the plan at least, but I can't promise it's gonna work, but... One down. Again. Again. We're in a very safe position. Oh no! What happened? Good. Right. Let's go.
That's holding a whole tree.
Yeah, almost nothing.
You know what? I'll pull it.
Okay. Hold. Yes, please.
Hold the tree.
Go. Yep.
Whoa!
Yeah. Basically sit on it.
Yay! Woo!
Got it on this camera. So this was literally the only piece I was holding on to. That whole tree. If people in general back home watching, if they would like to set up a spot for their squirrels, what is important for them to think about, or for me when I come home again?
Well, I think in the forest it's quite clear, and in this spot there's loads of trees. They love to be near trees, so if you have a feeding station either on a tree or near fallen trees, it's easy for them to escape.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that's why I picked this place.
Yeah, they
because
want
it's
access, good access from, because you told me yesterday that that sometimes they can't approach the food from one angle, then they kind of reroute and try another angle.
They'll have different strategies for getting close to the food, and they'll go to different branches.
Yeah, that's smart, because we can see them when we're sitting here. Like first they try this way and they're like, okay, Kalle's a bit too close, and then run back and go around. It's almost interesting to sit there and just look and see how they're problem solving.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because with squirrels, they have an incredible spatial memory.
Okay.
So not only do they need to remember some of the spots that they cache the food,
Of course, yeah.
but they also need to remember which trees have ripe pine cones.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
and obviously not every tree will have ripe pine cones at one time.
No.
It changes throughout the year.
Yeah.
So they have incredible spatial memory.
It's such a privilege to just see Danny just sneaking around in the forest, photographing her squirrels or just hanging around with them. She has such a calmness and a presence at the same time. When I'm just observing her, she's just sitting there, just taking it all in. Even though she does this every single day. Go here to the squirrel forest, sit down, hang out with them, check in how they are. It really, really inspires me.
So my daily routine when I come to the squirrel forest is I will probably immediately fill up the feeders, because usually the squirrels are waiting for me, or I usually make my whistle 15 meters from the edge of the forest, so they're anticipating me. Then I probably will set up my camera and my little place where I'm going to sit down, and then I just sit and wait. Sometimes I have photos planned, like a camera trap, or if I'm photographing and jumping, so maybe I'll set up something specific. A lot of the time I actually spend walking around, planning and looking for potential photos. When you do squirrel photography for 5 years, I don't want to get the exact same photo every time, so I spend a lot of time just looking for new compositions or new ideas.
Did you picture your whole life would be surrounding squirrels?
No, I never really had an interest in squirrels until I came here, and now I've become quite obsessed, I'd say. I think the more I photograph them, the more ideas I get, or I see them do something really unique and I'm I have to photograph that. I'm amazed at how...
Yeah, that's Buddy.
Hi. Look, you can recognize
Yeah,
it now.
I saw the ears. Yeah.
It amazes me how much my viewers get attached to they ask me how's Buddy?
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
I think the most incredible thing that's happened with the squirrel forest is how my community saw my vision with purchasing the forest. And last year I had a crowdfunder, and within 4 hours it was fully funded, and then after a week the funding was double. And at the time I was just how? It was so wild to me that people who will never go into this forest will want to pay to protect it. It's just showed how much people connect with these animals, even though it's on the internet. So I think that was the most sort of heartwarming experience I've had with my community And it's just showed me how important like my core audience is, and just to see the value in them rather than go for viral views or whatever. Just focus on this core community who, you know, helped protect this.
As you can probably tell under this video, you can see both my channel name and Danny's at the same time. It's a new feature that allows YouTube creators to kind of post a video together, and Danny and I created this video together, so we thought, why not try this feature? So if you're new to my face and my story, feel free to subscribe to my channel down below. And if you're new to Danny and her channel and her squirrels in general, you can subscribe to her down below as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.